Thank you. And now, we gotta keep these kids busy here, because now they're gonna put their instrument down and just pick up their bow. Just instrument. Ready? The goal is to maintain a good bow hold no matter what. So we're going to do all kinds of motions that you see in their playing. We're going to be going up and down. We're going to go back and forth. We're going to go round and round. All kinds of things. And if they can still have their bow in a good bow hold at the end, they succeeded. And so they know this by heart. They're going to turn toward you so you can see everybody. We're going to hold our bow in our right hand like a regular bow hold. And now we're going to do up like a rocket. Here we go. Up like a rocket, down like the rain, back and forth like a choo-choo train. Up like a rocket, down like the rain, back and forth like the choo-choo train. Round and round like the great big sun, land on your hand. Just for fun. Now, you may be wondering, why do we go round and round like the great big sun? All those obvious, other things are obvious, but one of the things we do in our playing is called a bow lift. Sometimes when we want to start over, when there's a rest, and we can't do a down bow and an up bow, we just do a down bow and then we do a bow lift up in the air. And this next song that we're going to play has a bow lift in it. It's called Seminole Chant. Thank you very much. Now we're coming up to two of our very favorite songs. These are time-honored classics. And Mrs. Rollins is going to introduce the next one, which I'm sure you all know. You probably heard a lot lately.
Freebird.
So our next piece, Rolling Along, stays on our favorite string, the D string, but is using a lot of the different fingerings back and forth, showcasing the bow. And today is a celebration of all of the work that your sons and daughters have gone through for the past month of June. But the learning doesn't have to end today. We really encourage them to continue playing throughout the summer. They know the notes to play all the way up to page 12 in their book. They can practice at home. We have to give you a concert, teach you how to do it. See if it's easier for you guys to learn from them. Because research tells us if we're able to teach someone else how to play, that we really know ourselves how to do it. So ask your son or daughter, can they show you what a good roll looks like? Can they show you how to play their instrument? And see if you can do it too. And then you can kind of experience what it's like for them to be a beginning musician and how far that they have come. So as you're playing, you may find that it sounds like the instrument is really out of tune. The music shop where you rented your instrument from all had people that can tune those instruments. So if you find that it's really out of tune, feel free to bring those to the shop. shop. They will take care of it for you. It only takes a couple of moments to do it, and they shouldn't be charging you to take care of that. So let those instruments be in tune, encourage us playing. We send home, both in hard copy and in email, some information. If you're interested in continuing with private lessons, there's some names of instructors on there. You're welcome to do so should you desire. It's not a requirement, but certainly you're always welcome to start with it. So now let's play Rolling Along.
Thank you, and we were just saying to each other, we can't believe it's the end. We don't want it to be the end, but this is our final culminating song, and I know that you all know it has at least 3 days. But before we play it, I would like to say, like Mrs. Rollins said, that information that we passed out gives them ideas for how to continue in the summer, and they can go ahead in their book now that they know the fingers on at least 2 strings and the bass is no 3. They can forge ahead and learn at least a couple more pages, right, Mrs. Rollins? So they can certainly move on, and if you do get the private lessons, they can go even farther with that. And you may be wondering, what's the next step? After we get through summer and we try to maintain what we've learned, here's the next step. In the fall, your student's orchestra teacher will touch base with them at some point in the first few days of school to let them know what the schedule for orchestra is at their school. And it always works like this. They meet once a week with their teacher for a lesson, for a half-an-hour lesson, and at some point then they will all combine into a full orchestra like this, but not quite this big, with all the students in their school that play orchestra in the same grade. That will be up to the individual teacher when that begins, but they'll talk to them about all that and give them a schedule and how to get started, and then they'll start coming for their lessons and they'll be able to continue on at their own elementary school. After that, even farther, Mr. Pullen wanted to make sure that you know that we have summer orchestra again next year, and they will be called cadet orchestra members, not beginners. And we have a whole bunch of cadet orchestra members this year that have been practicing all through the summer down the hall from where we were. And on Tuesday, we took a little field trip to go see them play some cool stuff. And maybe some of you saw the older kids too, because after the first year of cadet, then they go into intermediate orchestra for 2 years, and then advanced orchestra, and that even includes a few people that are going into high school. So if you'd like to come and hear those groups, they are having a concert today at 1 o'clock right here. So if you want to go out to lunch and then come back and come see the cadet orchestra, it's really going to be a great show with movie music the whole time, and Rollins and I will be playing along with that. And your student can look forward to being in cadet orchestra next year and beyond, so we wanted to let you know about that. I would also like to thank our custodians here, Kennedy, for helping us so much this year. They have just been amazing. We couldn't have asked for better help, and I'm so thankful. I would like to thank Allie Didich, too. She is one of my former students who came. Violin player, and she helped me too. She helped teach them. She has a great way with kids. So So I appreciated that assistantship, sort of. And we have another person who unfortunately has another job at this particular day, but he helped us too. And that was Christopher Pettit, who is a string education major at the University of Illinois. He came quite a few days, observed and helped us as well. So we want to thank Christopher also. So if you and we will get started on our last tune now. I think that has covered everything. And we want to thank you for thank you. What the post-it note is about that I didn't look at. Okay. Each year, when we learn a special song, we have a Hall of Fame. Mrs. Rollins, would you like to point to the Halls of Fame so I can draw their attention to those? Our first song, our biggie, was Hot Cross Buns, as you can see the buns. And if you learn that song, you get to sign the Hall of Fame with a silver Sharpie. And you're notorious then. After we learned that song, we did Boil Them Cabbage Down. And we got to sign that one. And there was also a fancy version for that one that sounded especially like a fiddle tune. And if they played that, they also got to put a star by their name if they learned that in an independent study sort of way. Then, Rolling Along, which is Rolling Along, the race car, which we just played for you. That's the next one. And finally, the best and the biggest, Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, which is what we're going to play for you now. So if you would like to go over there with your students later, I'm sure they can find their name and point it out to you on each one of those charts that they've signed, and they would probably love to. So thank you once again for coming today and for all your support at home. And Mrs. Rollins, I'm sure, feels the same way. And we're going to do Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star right now. After our concert over, we're going to have the students remain seated for just a minute and let them go in sections so we don't have a mass exodus over there and break instruments and stuff. So students will please stay seated when we're done and I'll dismiss you. Thank you very much. I like the cello.